What is going on, everybody? Renee with Neptune Cigars. We're here at PCA 2023 in Vegas. I'm standing here with Mr. John Huber of Crowned Heads Cigars. John, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Absolutely, Renee, absolutely. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Absolutely.
We're on day 3. I think we're starting to get a little bit tired, perhaps, but...
It's one of those things where you got to kind of ask what day of the week it is. I'm like, oh, it's Monday, yeah. Okay, day 3, yeah. So,
is it Monday?
It is Monday, it's day 3. We got, today and a half day tomorrow, so, yeah.
How's the show been for you so far?
It's been great. For me, I don't write orders here per se or anything like that, sales-wise, but I get to talk to a lot of friends that I haven't seen in forever and reconnect with distributors and things like that. So it's been nonstop for me, and I think it's been the same way for the sales guys.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And how about growth for Crowned Heads in the last year? Because obviously you guys you're a force to be reckoned with for quite a while now, but I see it just continue and continue and continue. How's it been for this last year in particular?
It's been a good year for us. 22 was our best year ever, sales-wise. 23, it feels like it's kind of leveled off a little bit, to be honest. It hasn't been that complete, post-COVID, like up. It's like now it's like, okay, we're getting back to normal a little bit, but it hasn't recessed into like 2019 numbers or anything like that. So, I mean, we've never been about rapid growth. It's just as long as we're moving in the right direction, making the right decisions for the company and the brands, and I feel like we are, so I feel good.
And keeping the consistency, obviously.
Consistency, man, because if you're not consistent, then,
Yeah.
This industry, to me, it's an agricultural business more than anything. And when you recognize that it's an agricultural product, and really that the tobaccos are what are dictating your growth and your distribution, all that, then you're making the right choices. But when you're just trying to treat it like a commodity, and you got to try to sell this, that, and the other to make a certain number, it doesn't work out for the long run.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cool. So the point of the show, obviously, is showcasing some brand new product.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you tell us about what's coming down this year?
We got a few little offshoots. We got an extension to Mil Diaz called Dopus. It's a little 4 7/8 56 with a pigtail. It's based off the Trinidad Cuban Dopus that was in LE in 16. Now it's in their production portfolio. We've launched 2023 Mule Kick here, which we've never done that. We've always done that as a standalone LE, but we wanted to get PCA to have first grab at it. That's really exciting for us. We also have a PCA exclusive, the PCA number 2. It's a 6 1/8 52 torpedo, like the classic Monty mold.
That's the first PCA exclusive you guys have?
No, we started off with the Patissier as a PCA exclusive. Last year we did Sfumato and C Major, which was a light, mild cigar. Didn't really do as well as we thought it would. So I went back to like the heavier, darker stuff, broadleaf, what everybody likes. That's out of Noxa, so we're doing that. We got the Juarez Fresh Pack, Bulls on Parade. It's a real value prop. It's like a 5-pack of Juarez for $29.95 retail. And then, of course, we've got La Vereda. La Vereda is our first regular production brand with Ernesto Perez Carrillo since 2020. Something that Ernie and I started working very diligently on in March of 22. And the blend went in a lot of different directions. And then around November-ish, Ernie kind of opened the vault and said, okay, let's work with this. Changed everything, turned it upside down, started all over again. And what we ended up with is this beautiful cigar. It's a Nicaraguan shade-grown wrapper from Jalapa, the same wrapper that's used on Encore. It's aged a minimum of 4 years. Yeah, Jalapa binder, and then the fillers are from Nicaragua and Dominican Republic, both aged a minimum of 3 years. There's a little Piloto Cubano in there to give it a little punch. Larger ring gauges sizes, which I'm not usually accustomed to. Like Ernie told me, I know you like 46s and 48s. He goes, that's cute, but I want you to do something that gives a bit more volume to the blend. So I really leaned into Ernie on this one a lot to develop this presentation, this blend. We picked the Vitolas together. In fact, after day 1, he was texting me at 6 in the morning, like, how's it doing? He's very, very invested in it emotionally. So it's been well received. It's been a fun project to work on.
It's a passion project for both of you.
Yeah, it really is. And we're not like interested in getting it everywhere. We want to control the distribution on this particular brand because there's nothing limited about it, but as the production increases, then we will slowly open it up to other people. But right now, we want to just focus on the tobaccos will dictate when the cigar's ready to ship. We've got about the first, say, 35 to 40,000 already been rested for 90 days. As soon as the boxes are done, we'll get those out to the retailers that ordered it here. Yeah.
How about Las Calaveras? I know a lot of people out there are huge fans, including myself. I look forward to it every year.
It's a fun project.
What can you tell us about this year's Calaveras, and maybe when it comes out?
This year's Calaveras, for people that don't know, is the first time we've used broadleaf on it since 2016. It's always been made at my father's cigars with the Garcias. We did broadleaf in 16 and never did it again. 7 years later, we're bringing the broadleaf back. We announced it in May. It sold out very quickly, and now the product actually landed before I left for Vegas, and it's being shipped out as we speak. So by the time this airs, you probably will be seeing it at Neptune. Yeah.
Hey, and for what it's worth, the 2016 was my favorite one.
Well, then you can love the 23, bro.
I loved 18 as well, the Mexican one, but 2016, I still, because I have a lot of people that come in that they're also like cult followers of it. So they always say, oh, how's this year's? Like as soon as the latest one's out, they ask me, how is it? I say, oh, it's great, it's great, it's great. But my favorite was always 16.
And
so I'm excited to see
it's
that come
funny
back.
because the 16 to me flew under the radar. And I thought this was going to be the banger because broadleaf, the Garcias, you know what I mean? You couldn't get much better than that. And it just kind of was quiet. But now I think this one is really going to bring it back. So
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it.
So you mentioned Bulls on Parade, which is a Rage song.
You got it, yeah.
You know,
I thought I aged out because I'm like, some people are like, why'd you call it that? I'm like, oh God, I'm so old. Like nobody remembers Rage Against the Machine. Yeah.
Well, you know, the Zeppelin references, the Johnny Cash references. Obviously, you have a lot of musical kind of. Well, do you want to talk about maybe how that ties into your cigar making?
There's always music that runs through my mind, you know. The trick of the trade for me though has been like, don't go too down that path, because then I'll give you an example. Like Serie E, which we did with Radio Pichardo, was a fantastic blend, Habano Oscuro wrapper. It hit on all cylinders. And it was sonically inspired by a guitar solo. So I started telling that story. Well, that story never translated because all the retailers were like, and consumers, oh, that Van Halen cigar. And I'm like, no, it's not. Don't dumb it down to a Van Halen. It's not what it is, you know? So I learned to like not, maybe I can get the inspiration from music, but don't talk about it so much. Yeah, so for instance, with like Vereda, I'm like talking totally about the tobaccos, the different seed varietals, the ages. In fact, like going back to La Vereda, we only have 7 pairs working on it. And we told those 7 pairs, look, don't try to make 250 a day. If you make 60% of that and they're good QC, all good, then that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a really super premium product with this one. So that's more important to me than the music right now. But I do get a lot of inspiration from music, for sure.
That's awesome. Cool. So Mil Dias, Four Kicks, La Imperiosa, La Carême, you have a huge catalog. A lot of it's very heavy too.
Yeah.
You know, do you yourself probably enjoy heavier cigars? What's your favorite in your own lines?
You know,
I know it's like picking a kid, you know.
It is like picking a kid, but to be honest with you, like what I've been smoking the most of is La Vereda, just because it's been, you know, that's what I was smoking the pre-release, I was working on the different Vitolas, I was looking, you know, that's been my 6 months to this point. But aside from smoking that, like I still reach for Mil Dias. I think Mil Dias any time of day, whether it's with a coffee in the morning or at the end of the day, it always is just the right balance of like florality, a little bit of leather, a little cream. It's just, there's something specific about that blend that to me is just across the board my go-to, aside from La Vereda right now. I don't smoke a lot of the heavier stuff right now. I'm going through a phase where I'm going back to like more nuanced, balanced cigars. I don't want something that hits me in the chin. Yeah, you know. But I still go back. I mean, I was smoking a lot of Jericho Hill before the show. I wouldn't say that's a powerhouse cigar, but you know, I still revisit the old stuff. Yeah, I'm a little burnt out on the broadleaf, though, to be honest with you. But the domestic market loves broadleaf, man. So what am I going to do? So it is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of where my palate is.
I like to think you've perfected it, so keep it coming by all means on behalf of all the smokers out there, I think. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you.
Continued success.
Everybody at Neptune, appreciate y'all's support. Keep smoking Crowned Heads and OFC. Keep buying your stuff at Neptune.
There you go.
All right.
And look out for La Vereda coming out along with Las Calaveras later this year. And actually, it should be out by the show.
Yeah.
So by the time you see this, go pick one up. Sure. All right, guys, this is Rene with Neptune Cigars. Catch you next time.